Okay, so we are back with lesson 21. And similar to how we did lesson 20, we're going to go through these kind of as the graphs first, then the equations, then the tables and sets. And remember that a table and a set is really the exact same thing. A set is just written out in a line, whereas a table is a table. So anyway, what we've got is a situation where for the graphs, linear means that it is a perfectly straight line. And so, for instance, this is linear. People get confused and think this is linear, but it is not, because let me do that a little bit differently. The red one by itself is linear. The green one by itself is linear. But if I put them together, to follow them, I have to go not continuing in a straight line forever. So in order to follow it again, right, we have to come down here and then up here. And so that is not linear. The blue one is a V shape. It's not a perfectly straight line. So linear means that it is a perfectly straight line that continues on forever in both directions. And so for the first one, let's take a look at what we've got. We have this graph right here. We're going to look at that graph. Does it look like a straight line? Absolutely not. That is not linear. So the fancy word for not linear is nonlinear. So just throwing that out there. If you look at this next graph, that's obviously a perfectly straight line, and it's continuing up this direction. It's going to go forever, it looks like. So from what we can see, yes, that's linear. And somebody out there might be thinking, well, hey, what if something else is happening off of the graph that we can't see? Well, no one cares. You can only pay attention to what you can see. So on to number 3. Again, we have what looks like a perfectly straight line. So that's going to be linear. This one is obviously not a straight line. So that is going to be what we call non-linear. Alrighty. Going through these pretty quickly. Straight line, linear. Not a straight line, nonlinear. Not a straight line, nonlinear. Straight line, linear. Straight line, linear. Not a straight line, nonlinear. And so this is very much like the example that I did at the very beginning. Let's run through that one more time. Again, this blue line is a straight line. And this red line is a straight line. But together they do not make a straight line. So as a whole, nonlinear. Okay? The blue one is, the red one is, but altogether it is not. And then this last one, not a straight line, nonlinear. So that's pretty easy to do from the graph. We'll be back to talk about how to do that from the equation in the next video.